Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. I blog over at thefrugalcottage.com all about budgeting, money saving, investing and lots of things in between. And the video I'm going to show you today is my March budget because I'm getting a bit organised and I like to do it just ahead of time so I know where I stand. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started. So if you're new here, I use a pen and paper budget. It's the thing that I find focuses me the most, and I will link below to the March budget planner. It's just on my blog. I do recommend that if you're wanting to get better at your finances, download this system along with my cash envelope system. I'll leave my latest video about that below as well, because the two combined are really good in terms of making you focused on what happens to your money, so where it goes. Anyway, so let's get started with the March budget. So the first page in here is my March overview. This is where I like to put things, bills, so direct debit bills in there, and I've shown these lots of times before now, but I like to make things colourful because it's kind of written down and things. I like visual representations, and I'll just show it's an Etsy shop for these and that's what it's called. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to put on here is our mortgage goes out on the 2nd of the month. So that's that little house there. And then I've got one that says council tax. So I'm just going to use a different colour for that. That also goes out on the same day. It would go out on the 1st, but obviously the 1st is a Sunday, so it will go out on the 2nd instead. So mortgage and council tax both go out on the same day. They're the two kind of biggest ones anyway, so that's good that they're kind of all out at the start of the month. The next one is my water bill. Apologies for the squeaking by the way, that's the chair I'm sat on, I don't know why it's doing that today. There we go, so our water bill goes out a week later on the 9th. I like these little stickers. On the 9th. And then we have a gas and electricity come out at the same time. So that goes out on the 23rd this month. Normally goes out on the 21st, but that's a Saturday, so I think it'll go out on the 23rd, which is on the Monday. And then perhaps my favourite one of the month, it is my little payday sticker. Because let's be honest, we all like that. So payday for me is on the 25th. So, how's that looking? That's looking okay for now. We don't really have that many direct debits. And I haven't tried to do them, or I used to be able to do them all on the same day, but they're more spread out now. But that's okay, it works alright for us. But if you want to, and some people do this with their budget, so if you're like me and you get paid on a certain day of the month, so I get paid on the 25th of every month, you can make it so that your bills come out on that same day as well. So you can ring up like your gas or electricity company and say, can I get my standing order to come out on a certain date every month, and they will change that for you. So if that would be helpful for your budgeting, then do that. This system works for us at the moment. So I'll turn over. Oh, if I can. So the next page is income, kind of fixed expenses and variable expenses. I always write my variable expenses in here for you to see. So there we go. So food is the first one as always. Food, and that's going to stay at £250 for the month. That's a fairly kind of average number for us. I used to try and stick at 200, but there was, I just kept going over it, so I've raised it to 250, and that seems to be at this point in time like a good number to kind of have for now. Obviously, as our boys grow up and get bigger, they'll probably start eating more and more, so that might change, but at the moment it's £250 for us. Now petrol is the next one, and if you've watched my February and January budget updates, you'll know that I increased my petrol budget, but then since that point I've gone nowhere near it. So it used to be £120 and then I raised it to £150 for the month. And then I've really not gone anywhere near £150. So I think what I'm going to do this month is actually I'm going to reduce that back down to £120, which is essentially, it's £30 a week, isn't it, in a 4-week month. And we'll see. Watch me now that I've changed that back down, as this is a month that I'll go over, but we'll see how that goes. Obviously, or maybe not obviously, I drive to work, so petrol is a necessity, and you know, I have to get it whether I like it or not. The next category is miscellaneous, so that's all those things that don't really fit anywhere else. They're keeping that at £100. Again, that seems to be fairly constant in terms of what we end up spending each month on that. Things in here, so it's like household stuff, the cats maybe, and then kind of other really random things, you know, that just don't fit anywhere else. They're the things I used to have more categories here, but then I kind of will just merge them into this one. And the final one is children, and they get budgeted £100 a month. That goes on things like gymnastic fees, soft play, shoes. Went on shoes last month anyway. I've had a couple of messages saying that £100 per month for 2 children seems really low, and I appreciate that it might do, but we don't tend to buy them that much stuff. I do have a feeling that they're going to both grow out of their current size of clothes at the same time. It feels like that's going to happen, and then yeah, that might be a bit of a, that would definitely go over that then. But we generally don't buy them a lot of things kind of week in, week out. They have so much stuff, it's ridiculous. They do not need any more. But obviously if you've got, depends on how old your children are as well. If you've got teenagers, obviously their needs are very different to ours, who are 4 and 2. So, you know, you need to decide what is right for your family and make that. This is just what our budget is. This isn't saying that this is what your budget should be. You need to make it work for your family, whatever your family consists of. So there are my 4 variable expenses. There used to be 6, but I'm doing a no spend year this year. I'll link the video down below to that. So there are now just 4. And this is the 3rd month of doing our no spend year, so we'll see how it goes. So in this also is a debt repayment plan. So if you've got kind of credit card debt or loans, or you know, any kind of debt really outside of maybe mortgage, this is to track this. So track what your minimum payments are, track if you do any extra payments during the month, and kind of monthly progress if you are trying to pay those off, then how your progress is going for that. I thankfully don't need to use this page, but it is in there if you need it. Sinking fund tracker, quite self-explanatory. If you've watched my video on sinking funds, you'll know I currently have 4. And I will add things to those as and when I can. So no spends, no tracker. So this month I'm going to use this, but I'm going to change it slightly. I've got some star stickers left, but I've not got enough in kind of one colour to do the whole month, if that makes sense. So my plan for this month is, my target first of all is 20. We're doing a no spend year, so and I'm just going to stick any coloured star in a day when I have a no spend day. And so if there's not a star in there, it means I've spent on that day, which is not how I've done it before, but I kind of want to use these stickers up. They're kind of just sat around. I think that'll be better for that. So 20 no spend days is my target. Here's hoping I can hit that. And then what's next? So the expense tracker is next. Obviously this is blank at the moment because I've not started the month. You get 3 pages for the expense tracker. I always try and aim to use 2 out of the 3, but the 3, again, depends what your family circumstances are. But you get 3 pages for that. And again, if you've watched my videos before, I like to highlight my different sections of spending in the category, so that you, again, another visual aid to see just how much you spend in one area opposed to another. The next page is the weekly check-in. So this is important as well, just to check that you're sticking to your overall budget. Again, these are the variable expense categories. So for me, it's food, petrol, miscellaneous and children. So each week you add up what you've spent, and then in the same category, how much have you got remaining of your entire budget. And that column is the most useful, especially when you're getting towards the end of the month. You can see how you're doing in terms of sticking to what you hope is going to be your budget. Turning over. Bill tracker, so this is if you've got lots of direct debits and standing orders, you can use this to add those in there. If you've watched my videos regularly, you'll know that I do not use this page. I tend to just use the page at the front, for the kind of like the bill calendar, if you like. But essentially they do the same thing. And if you have lots of them, then this would be an easier thing to use them for. Let's turn over again. Extra income. So I'm toying with the idea of maybe having like a money making March. We've got quite a few things that are just sat that I need to get listed on probably Facebook Marketplace or maybe eBay, it depends. And I don't know whether setting myself a little challenge like the money making March thing will help me to actually do it rather than just having them sat there. I don't know, but we'll see. And this is if you do make things kind of selling things that you no longer need or whatever, or surveys, or however you might make some extra money, this is to track this. It's got a running total down the side so you can see just how well you're doing. I might do some kind of challenge in March for that. I'll have a think. Maybe. Might motivate me to actually do something for a change. And then turning over. Oh. So my savings goal each month is the same. So my savings goal for March is £700. So each square is worth 7 because there's 100 of them. My savings goal for this year is £700 each month, and that's quite a stretch for us. We don't have the biggest household income, far from it, but to keep on track with my goals of early retirement and all that, I need to kind of be consistent with saving, so hopefully by the end of the month that will be done. And the final page is just the reflection page. This is to look back at how you did on your budget. So the budget categories, so for me the 4, food, petrol, miscellaneous, children, what I initially budgeted, what I end up spending, and the difference. Now hopefully if you've done really well, the difference will be positive, i.e. you've still got money left over, so it'll be green. And then a little kind of looking ahead, so things to do differently in April. So anything that you might change to do with your spending habits and your budget. So maybe you didn't budget enough for, I don't know, going out, or I don't know, whatever your budget category is, maybe that you didn't kind of allow yourself enough, and even though you've been really careful, you've still gone over budget. That would be the kind of place where you'd write about that. And that is my budget for March 2020. I'm looking at, like I say, I love this system. It's the favourite thing I've ever done. I will link the budget planner and my cash envelope system down below. I do recommend you download this. Honestly, it is so eye-opening as to what you spend your money on. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again very soon.